Hello guys, welcome to PowerDrift. Welcome to Spain yet again. But this time around, we are here with Triumph to sample their brand new 2018 Tiger 1200. And this is what it looks like. So what's new about the Tiger 1200? Let's start with the name. Triumph have dropped the Explorer moniker and now it's just called the Tiger 1200, a bike which has been in development for close to 4 years. After all, this is Triumph's flagship and they have thrown everything at it. So it's a whole lot lighter, a lot more powerful, a lot more agile, has better ergonomics and has all the electronics that you can think of. When you talk about weight saving, that can be seen most on the Tiger 1200's top of the line models, which is the XRT, which is the more road bias model, and the XCA, which is the off-road model. The XRT is a good 11 kgs lighter, while the XCA a good 10 kgs lighter. And that's mainly down to weight savings across the motorcycle, whether it's chassis, the engine, or the exhaust. So we are talking smaller flywheel, a magnesium cam cover, lighter crankshaft, lighter battery, and also a full titanium exhaust from Arrow. The Tiger now puts down 141 PS and 122 Nm of torque, which now makes it the most powerful shaft-driven ADV in this segment. Also, the ergonomics have been revised with the handlebar being brought back about 20 mm, which is a lot more comfortable and also puts you in control. Technologically speaking, now the Tiger 1200 comes with cornering lights on top of the cornering ABS and the cornering traction control, which is based on IMU. This is also the first motorcycle from Triumph to feature an auto blipper on top of the quick shifter. You also get the TFT screen which you've seen on the RS. You have full LED lighting, which I think looks spectacular, really gives the Tiger 1200 a very aggressive look while still maintaining its distinctive Tiger silhouette. You get backlit switches, you get keyless ignition, and on the XCA, which is the off-road variant, you get the off-road pro mode, which essentially switches off the traction control, switches off the ABS, and puts the semi-active suspension in the off-road setting. So all of this sounds great, but how does the Tiger actually ride? Well, to find out, we got a chance to ride the XRT as well as the XCA, and here are all the things that I liked about them. Starting with the suspension. Man, was I blown away with the semi-active WB suspension which Triumph has developed. I had the honor of riding behind Alan Batson, who is a former TT racer, has also finished on the podium, so you can imagine the pace. Even the route which these guys had chosen, it was an interesting mix of some really tight corners, fast flowing ones, and some of the roads were also quite bumpy. But the suspension, man, it was up for anything and everything that we threw at it. Not once did the Tiger get out of shape. It doesn't feel wobbly or wallowy anymore. It's pretty much spot on. It's where you want it to be. So is the ergonomics, the revised ergonomics, and the chassis, instills a lot of confidence in you even if you're riding the Tiger in a sporty way. And the Metzeler's too were quite impressive because conditions weren't the best. It was really cold in the morning. There were quite a few damp patches because of the rain, but the feedback and the grip was consistent all the way through. And then when we switched to off-road, it was even more enjoyable because we were doing all of that under the watchful eyes of Matthew, who is now one of the instructors of the Tiger Training Academy, which is now coming up in the UK, which is being set up by Triumph. And he just asked us to trust the electronics and go have fun, which is exactly what we did. Just set up the bike in the off-road mode, which essentially cuts off the ABS on the rear wheel, which means you can lock it up. And also the traction control intervention is reduced a fair bit, which means you can actually carry really good slides. And man, was it fun. I also like the clutch. It's really light, which makes it very easy to feather it when you're riding off-road. So where can the Tiger 1200 improve? Let's start with engine refinement, because I felt Surprisingly, the buzz creeping in as early as 5500 RPM on the pegs and the handlebar. So that needs to be addressed. Also in terms of gearing, is the same as compared to the old model, but I felt that it's a little too tall for my liking. I feel that a shorter second gear would make the Tiger 1200 a lot more engaging to ride. Third is the Triumph Shift Assist system, which I feel needs a lot of improvement, because while shifting up, the transition was quite jerky, and even during downshift, the system was not as polished as some of the other systems in the market which I've experienced. Then, even though I loved how you could change the windscreen, the height of the windscreen at the touch of a button, even a taller mode setting on the touring windscreen, which is a taller one, which is available on the XRT as well as the XCS standard, I feel there was a decent amount of buffeting. So that can be addressed. And even when you're riding off-road, I felt in terms of balance, in terms of the geometry, the Tiger 1200 is a little more front biased, which can be a little bit of a challenge for people like me who don't have as much experience riding such big bikes off-road, you know. So let's say you're riding in the dirt and you suddenly hit the soft stuff. If you're late on the gas, then it's very easy to tuck the front and see the bike wash away from beneath you very, very quickly with very little warning. So in that sense, it's a little less forgiving as compared to the Africa Twin and demands a lot more from the rider, similar to when you're riding, say, the Multistrada Enduro. But on the whole, the Tiger 1200 is undoubtedly a big step ahead as compared to its predecessor. It's a lot easier to ride, a lot lighter, a lot more agile, a lot more versatile in the sense it strikes a very good balance between sporty riding, between cruising, and even off-road. It's equally capable. And even in terms of electronics, it's now loaded to the T. Has all the electronics which you can think of to keep you safe. And it's been an absolute blast riding it here in Spain, and I cannot wait to come back home and ride it some more. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I sure hope that you have enjoyed this feature as much as I have enjoyed riding this motorcycle. Ciao.